grind.
Yeah, I think you gotta keep your eyes on the prize. And most companies that are startups take about 5 years to actually get moving. We're lucky to get moving a little bit sooner, but you can't stop after the first no or the second no or the third no or the fourth no. Mm-hmm. Like if you stop after that, then it wasn't for you. But we've been told no. We've been told many things that caused us to want to be like, should we keep doing this or no? But we kept grinding, and some amazing things have happened. And if all else fails, if the company shuts down tomorrow or the next day, I've learned so much along the way that will benefit me for the rest of my life.
All right, what's going on, guys? This is Chats with Max live in the KAPU Radio Studio. We got Devin Desjardins, the owner of Perspectives clothing brand. Devin, say what's good.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks, Max, for having me on today. I'm excited for our conversation. I'm excited to get to know you guys.
Yeah, and we're going to talk all about Devin's inspirations, what his company is about, the nonprofits they work with, and all kinds of artistic, motivational things that you guys can get into yourselves. But right now, we're going to hit some Bobby Shmurda, and we'll get right back. Jam on this one.
I try to make a next month sitting up and fucking Shmurda she wrote. And my shmoney's at no shmoney.
Jello Beats.
Yeah, and this is Chats with Max. We're live in the KAPU Radio Studio. We got Devin Desjardins up in here.
Hey.
Devin, say what's up once again.
Hey, thanks for having me again today, Max. I'm excited to be here. Can't wait to get into this conversation. I got a lot to talk about, a lot to share with you. So
Awesome. And if you guys don't know, Chats with Max is focusing on cool things that you guys are doing in and outside of school. So if you're interested, tweet me at Chats with Max and we'll get the ball rolling. But tonight we're talking about Devin's clothing business, Perspectives. Devin, what's a quick 2-3 liner you can give us about the background of what Perspectives is all about?
Yeah, so Perspectives is a for-profit clothing company that shares the stories of individuals and organizations all across the globe that are doing the small things and the large things in their community to impact the world in a huge way. We partner with new nonprofits each month, share their stories in unique ways, and then 10% of all the profits that we earn go back to actually supporting those organizations.
10%. That's pretty good. Now, what's an example of, say, one nonprofit that you work with?
Yeah, so one of the nonprofits we work with is Mount Scott Learning Center, and they're an alternative school in Portland, Oregon, and they take in kids that have broken backgrounds that kind of failed the traditional style school system. They have families that are, some of the parents are prostitutes and drug dealers. They've suffered tons of mental abuse and physical abuse. And the school takes them in and rehabilitates them and also gets them through high school in a really effective way. So that's one of the organizations that we partner with.
And you mentioned that they're centered in Portland, Oregon. Now, is Perspectives based out of Portland?
Yeah, Perspectives is based out of Portland, but we do have a base here in LA as well.
Awesome. Now, a base in LA, base in Portland, what cities are you dealing with currently with your clothing brand?
Yeah, so right now we are in stores in Portland, in Colorado, Indianapolis, and then also New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
On that hustle.
Yeah,
And how old are you, Devin?
I just turned 21 in November.
Yeah, so listen up, guys. You don't need to be some full-fledged adult, 28-year-old, whatever. You can start it up right in your bedroom, get some stuff pumping with whatever business, music, any kind of thing you guys want to get into.
Definitely.
Just got to get out there and do it.
Definitely.
Now, we talked about nonprofits and all that. Now, would you say that your business is a Christ-centered business, or do you guys kind of shade away from labeling yourself such as that?
So I think you can get in a really messy situation of labeling yourself as a Christian business because you can be categorized very easily once you label yourself that. And not straying away from saying that we are a Christ-centered business, we do hold a very strong foundation in being Christ-focused and kingdom-focused. Our goal is to ultimately share the love of Christ to other people, but at the same time, we don't want to walk that line of jamming it down people's throat. So we share it through our actions and through the stories that we share. But if you were to look at our brand, you would see a straight-up for-profit clothing company. But if you did a little bit of research, you'll then see that there's a bigger picture to it all.
Wow. Well, I have to say that I'm amazed just hearing that little spurt right there. If I'm wrong, Nico and Vince has something else to say. We're going to hit up Am I Wrong by Nico and Vince right now. Hit a quick song break and get into some accolades that Perspectives has earned through their adventure in business, as well as, some hardcore main points that they could give us about what they're working with, what their style is, and all that stuff, and where you guys can find it. So right now, we'll be right back. Nico and Vince. Live in the KAPU radio studio. We got Devin Desjardins, the owner of Perspectives Clothing. And just so you guys know, in Chats with Max, we're focused all about out of the ordinary majors and occupational pursuits here at Azusa Pacific. And we're focused on things that are going on in and outside of school. Devin's got stuff going on in and outside of school, and he actually won the Zoo Ventures contest just recently. Now, Devin, why don't you tell us a little bit about that experience and what led you guys to getting first place?
Yeah, so this was my second business competition that I have entered. My first one was in Washington. I did my first 2 years of school up at a school called Whitworth University in Spokane, and they had a business competition there called the Inland Northwest Business Competition, and it was for $5,000 to win. And it was, you submit a business plan, you go through the procedures of pitching in front of investors, and then they rate you on a scale, and it gets down to the final three, and then you present in front of a very large audience, and then they vote on who should win. So we ended up winning that, and that kind of lit the flame behind my pursuits of business competitions. So when I transferred down to APU, we got started, and someone mentioned, hey, Zoo Ventures is coming to APU. You should bring your business and put it into the competition and see how you guys do. And so we got in there, and within a month we got the ball rolling. It was a little bit more complex, a little bit more of a process, and there was some really, really strong competition within the competition itself. And yeah, we just grinded for a month and a half and ended up coming out on top and winning $15,000. So,
well, what would you say made you guys, I guess we could say the black sheep, the company that stood out from the rest of the group? Because you guys have to have had some kind of value that the people who were judging were just like, wow, like those guys deserve the money for their grant.
Yeah, I think a lot of people came into the competition with ideas, and that's what they wanted. They wanted ideas that hadn't necessarily gotten started yet, and they accepted that. And so when people brought in those ideas, but then we had the idea and had already started pursuing it, and obtaining an income through it and working and getting brand recognition.
Because you guys already were cooking on your sales and everything, right?
Yeah, we were doing pretty well. And so when they saw that, they're like, this $15,000 could do a lot for this business. And I think just the idea of us already grinding without a ton of money already kind of gave them that, like, hey, these kids are really, really going to try to do this.
So you're saying, so there wasn't any other businesses that were generating income within the competition?
No, there were a couple other ones that were like very, very small. I think just we had the overall
the professional look.
Yeah, the professional look.
Yeah. Now, okay, let's get into this. Now, what's your guys' most used channel of marketing that you would say with Perspectives? Because I've seen your Instagram. We've talked about your photography a little bit, which we will get into that in a little bit because that's how I met you. But, what would you say is you guys' number one channel of marketing you use to distribute your Perspectives ideas?
Yeah, I think right now Instagram is our largest kind of marketing area.
Yeah.
We are like an Instagram generation. People love the idea of photo sharing. And I think our company has done a really, really good job of creating a brand recognition and an aesthetic around our Instagram. So with each Instagram post that we have, we pose a question of challenging someone's perspective, like, what is your view on this? What is your perspective? And it allows people to have a forum on the actual Instagram, all these deeper questions, which allows people to engage, and people are really, really responding well to that. So right now, just marketing through that has been huge.
So from what I hear, it sounds like you guys take a lot of thought into each post you make on Instagram, because that's the mark of your company. It's not like, some personal, like, oh, I'm just going to throw this little joke, like, duck face up on Instagram. It's like, no, we're going to, like, plan this out, edit it up, and slap it out there almost like a marketing ad.
Yeah, I mean, each day we, the people in the company, we have a little, like, group email, and we talk about what we're going to post and why we believe we should pose this question or present this photo to the community of people that are following us. Because we don't want to send out a half-assed picture to people that we really, really care about.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick song break. This is "Cool Kids" by Echo Smith, and we're gonna get into Devin's photography, and then come back into maybe his definition of, well, not his definition, the story behind why they named Perspectives perspectives. So we'll be right back. Cool kids. See you soon. This is Chats with Max live in the KAPU Radio Studio. We got Devin Desjardins live here, 7 p.m. on a Thursday. Tweet me at Chats with Max for any questions you got about him. And we're talking about Devin's story about how he named Perspectives. So Devin, what's going on with that? Why Perspectives? I know you're talking about, challenging people and giving them the input to think about their views on certain topics dealing with your company. But what's the story behind the name?
Yeah, so the name Perspectives actually kind of originated out of Nicaragua. My brother and I were down there, and we were at this largest dump in Nicaragua, and we were at this organization called Via Esperanza, and there was a guy named Wilbert there who ran the organization with his wife, and Wilbert had some physical conditions that prevented him from walking very well, and he was a larger guy, and he was telling us his story, or his quote-unquote perspective of life, and he said that when he was young, he said when he was younger, people used to make fun of him and tell him that he's not worth anything because he had this physical condition. But when his wife came into his life, his wife told him that, you are worth more than anything. You are unique. You are special. You have the capability of changing people's lives. Like, don't think differently about this. And he said, when we were having this conversation with him, he said, that day my perspective totally changed on life. And when he said the word perspective, my brother and I were both like, this is a heavy, heavy word, and this could be really, really good for the name of the company, because what we want to do is ultimately share with people the perspectives of this world that will hopefully then impact their perspectives and create that cycle. So that's where the name kind of originated from. It's a longer story, but we can get into it a little bit different time.
Definitely, yeah. I got to agree. Perspectives can hold multiple meanings. I mean, you want something that holds a lot of value to signify your brand. And I believe that that's doing waves of work with your Perspectives brand on Instagram and people viewing it, what's going on, what are those lines, and you're just like, there's a deeper meaning to it all.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, we were talking about your photography that I mentioned earlier. I kind of plugged that. That's how I kind of met you. Now, you started off with just shooting pictures, or what's your background in that? How did this turn into, being the creative director, your title in Perspectives?
Yeah, and so I actually felt kind of honored when you were telling me yeah, man, your photography is really, really good, because I don't even personally own a camera. The only thing I own is an iPhone, and so I shoot everything that I do with my iPhone.
Guys, I think before I found you, I saw you on Instagram after I ran into you, and I'm like, man, that's tight. Let's get an interview about it.
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't even tell me that you had a business going.
Yeah, so I love shooting photos. I just love going actually on the adventures that can bring you to a cool destination where you can capture a really, really cool moment. And I love kind of trying to, quote unquote, again, I keep saying the word perspective, but try to take a different perspective of a normal landscape or a normal scenario, and then also provide some questions or some comments in that photo that will cause people to kind of think deeper. So it's almost, you see a lot of my personal life and my personal stories kind of transposing into the company as well, so I can have that circulation and that coherence going on.
Definitely. And I feel like, actually, let's rewind. What's your Instagram, just so these people can check you out?
Yeah, my Instagram is just at Devin Desjardins, DEVONDEJARDIN. And if you guys are interested in the company's Instagram, it's Perspectives with an S and then CA. So just Perspectives California initial, basically.
And when talking about your Instagram posts, I noticed, it seems like on a lot of top featured pages, they have this overall theme going. I've noticed on your Instagram that you kind of have this, I don't know if it's a shade or what, but all the pictures just kind of have this overtaking vibe on each one that's kind of, similar in each one, but at the same time the picture's different.
I would say it might be a mild case of OCD, but I like to have a cohesive collection on my page.
Basically a flow.
Yeah, a flow and a format, so it's a little bit easier to view. The last thing I want someone to do is come onto my Instagram account or the company's and see this scattered, chaotic movement. I think there's something really beautiful in looking at art that flows together, but at the same time, when you're looking at it, you can see bits of chaos within it.
I know. You guys, when you go check out his Instagram, you're going to feel a little self-conscious about yours. Because I know when I look at mine, I'm like, God dang, I look like I have ADHD on this thing. Even though I do.
Yeah.
But, we can all aim to have our own flow on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're going to be right back. We're going to get into, how Devin got his start. Like, what was going on, like, when he first decided to, how you go from just being a kid in high school or whenever you started the company, which we'll get into after Song Break, and going from that into where you are now, being a creative director. You know, what steps were taken there.
Definitely.
We're going to hear some Ed Sheeran Don't.
There we go. Your boy, Eddie.
This is Chats with Max live in the KAPU radio studio. We got my boy Devin up in here, and we just had my boy Eddie play his jam. And we're going to hit up how Devin went from being a normal everyday high schooler to being the creative director of a startup, where it's actually already cooking, Perspectives clothing brand. And by the way, how do we look up your company once again?
Yeah, so the website
audience?
is www.perspectivesglobal.com. And the Instagram, once again, is just PerspectivesCA.
Awesome. Now, give us a little piece of your story. Where did Perspectives start for you? Where did your motivation behind photography come up?
Yeah, so, I was the typical high school kind of art kid that sits in the back of the classroom and doodled the whole class period. And then as high school kind of went on, I realized that, hey, some of these drawings, some of these ideas that I have would look really, really good on T-shirts. And so I got into the whole idea of screen printing these designs on T-shirt, and it was really, really fun for about 6 months. And then I got really, really bored of looking at graphics on T-shirts, and I said, I want to actually design the garment behind the T-shirt. I want to learn how to sew all this fabric together and create an actual piece of clothing. So as the years went by, we just started working more and more on that, and I started learning how to sew. And
you were actually sewing the T-shirts
Yeah, I was
yourself?
sewing some of the T-shirts myself, and then we finally linked up with a manufacturer where I could send my designs in, create my renderings and create the garments basically on Illustrator and Photoshop and all that, and then send them to the manufacturer and then go in there and create with them. But yeah, I've just always had a really strong passion for art and a really strong passion for expressing kind of deep symbolism through objects.
Oh man, now that gives me a totally different look at you. I almost picture, the Project Runway, Devin out there with his needle and throwing some designs upon a model.
Yeah, right.
But wow. Now, where did this? How did you switch to become the creative director of this? Where did Perspective start? Why don't we just start off there?
Perspective started in the headquarters, which is my basement of my house.
There we go.
I started there. Had been there for about a year, and then we finally moved into an office space, and we have a lot more room now. But I started in the basement, and we had $0 to start with. And what we actually did is we took pre-orders. So I mocked up a fake T-shirt that I hadn't even printed yet. And I said, hey, we got these new T-shirts in. Buy them now. They're going to be open for a week, and then we're closing down. And I got like 25 orders with my first one. And I took all that money, ran to the factory, got them produced. Took like 3.5 weeks to turn around. People were like, dude, just give me my shirt already. Like, are you scamming me? And then finally got them their shirt. I was like, hey, so sorry. That won't happen again. But that gave me that initial little bit of profit to then produce some to have an inventory. And then, we started with absolutely $0 and just decided, hey, if we're going to make this work, we can make it work. And you don't definitely need money to succeed.
I gotta say, that's gotta be inspirational to each and every listener, because that just shows that you can create something from nothing. Even as cliche as it sounds, you're a walking example of that.
Yeah, I think people get caught up in this idea that you need all of these materials, you need all of this money, you need all of this knowledge.
All these barriers of entry that aren't really there. They create barriers of entry.
Yeah, they build up their own barriers before just kind of just dropping them all down and being like, let's just go for it. Let's risk it and see what happens. And the worst thing that happens when you do that is you learn something. That's
Yeah.
the worst thing that can happen.
As long as you don't die.
As long as you don't die. I mean, if you don't die, if you die, then shoot.
You
who
know,
knows?
hopefully you died for a good cause.
But maybe your death inspires someone else to live their life better. So
Yeah, I mean, we can look at it that way. We're going to get cooking more on this interview, but it's going to be Black Widow by Iggy Azalea. We'll be right back. Chats with Max live, 7 p.m. See you guys soon.
I'm gonna love you until you hate me, and now I'm gonna show you what's really crazy. Black widow, baby. I'm a black widow, baby.
Yo, this is Chats with Max live in the KAP Radio Studio. We got my boy Devin up in here from
What's up,
Perspectives
guys?
Clothing. Hold up, another song starting. We don't want to have that happen again because my boy Ed got into our interview when I didn't want him to, right, Devin?
it was unbelievable.
He was
Always interrupting.
Unbelievably rude. I
Yeah.
mean, he already has a very high repertoire of songs going on. I mean, he just wants all the attention. But back to the interview, we were talking about perspectives, how Devin started with zero money in the business, put out pre-orders for his actual T-shirts, came back with the profits and started building his business right off of that with his group of friends.
Yeah.
Out of his basement, by the way. So it just shows you guys that you can create something out of nothing. It can go in a
Exactly.
positive direction. Now, what's some new news going on in Perspectives? What's some things we can have an eye out for?
Yeah, so Perspectives is taking a little bit of a turn towards more of the higher fashion market. So we're moving into trying to get away from the screen printed t-shirts, and we're going into the actual textile design of the garments. If most of you guys don't know what that means, it means we're actually creating the garment itself. So we're sewing everything by ourselves and adding
Instead of
all.
getting a generic T-shirt and
Yeah.
putting it onto it.
And so our whole new line is going to be all cut and sew, and we are releasing it February 28th at the Banks show, which is in Anaheim, California. And that is a trade show for buyers and boutiques to come and look at all of the new brands that are kind of circulating in the media right now. And they can place orders for their actual stores back in their hometowns. And they come from across the nation, and some actually come from out of the country.
Now, how did you go about actually getting placed into this boutique thing? Like, did your friend find the opportunity, or, because I'm just wondering from an audience perspective, I would want to know, okay, say my business gets cooking, how do I take it up to the next level, like what you guys are doing?
Yeah. And
As long as it's not a trade secret.
No, it's not trade secret. And that's like the one thing we really kind of hold true to in our company is we believe that if a company is trying to do something for the greater good, then why should we hold back the secrets on how to be successful? Because if we're all cooperating together and we're all working together to succeed for a greater cause, we should all be trying to help each other instead of being selfish and not helping each other. But yeah, to get into boutiques, there is a lot of power behind just asking. We ask tons and tons and tons of stores to potentially buy our product so we can get in, and we get turned down all the time, but we stay persistent and keep grinding and keep cooking, as you say. And then you get like a yes for every 5 no's. So you just keep going. You can't let one store get you down. Even if they say your product is complete crap, you just got to be like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna stay true
You've
to
had that
myself.
happen
Yeah,
before, too?
of course.
Yeah.
But
We don't want to offer that garbage in here.
yeah, no, we already have accounts lined up wanting the new stuff. So right when we release it, it should be pretty good. We're gonna be moving a lot of product, and we're hoping to get into at least 25 more stores this next couple months.
Now, say I want to buy a T-shirt from you guys. Where can I locate that at, and how does the shipment process work?
Yeah, and so you can go to the website, like I said earlier, www.perspectivesglobal.com. We got garments ranging from T-shirts to jackets to windbreakers and sweatshirts and even blankets. So you can get a variety of
sackcloth.
Yeah. We did some collaborations this year, and we got a ton of product, like I said, dropping February 28th. So if I were you guys and you wanted to buy something, I would check it out at the end of February because that store is going to be popping. But yeah, you can go on there, log on to the actual website, and then click the store button, the store tab, and then all the products will be there laid out.
Awesome.
Ready to go.
And are you guys packing and shipping this by yourself? Getting back to the business perspective of the interview. Are you guys wrapping it all up yourself, or you send it off somewhere? How's that all work?
Yeah, so right now there's 5 of us actively working on the company. So we are doing the packing and shipping ourselves. Thankfully, it's not me doing it
I mean, you're
because
out
it
in
is a
LA,
process. Yeah,
everyone's back at the hub, right?
yeah. They just put me
Portland.
on all the art and design, and then I just gotta get creative and run around. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, we do all the packing and shipping, and it's actually a pretty cool process because our packages come in like a pretty cool way, and like the whole idea, like whole process of opening them up and like experiencing what's inside that package. We got some really unique parts of it. So if you guys want to see that, you're gonna have to buy some.
Yeah, we'll let the mystery be answered by a purchase. We're gonna hit up "Leave the Night On" by Sam Hunt. We'll be right back and get into some more cool topics about Perspectives Clothing and our boy Devin. So see you guys soon. Jam out to some country right now.
They roll the sidewalks in this town all up after the sun goes down, and say nothing good happens here when midnight blows the last street light. We can live more tonight.
Yo, this is Chats with Max, and we're live with Devin Desjardins. We're gonna talk about some closing out stuff with Perspectives. We just got done with talking about the manufacturing and the send-off shipment of his products and about their basis in Portland, Oregon. Perspectives, we can find out what website, Devin?
www.perspectivesglobal.com.
Yeah, and do you have any closing information you want to give out to the audience about anything you might have left out during this interview?
Yeah, I think it's more of just like an encouragement for all those young entrepreneurs out there that are thinking about or have already started a company. I think a lot of the times, especially in our day and age, when you're a student at school, you can get stuck in this system of going to class. You wake up, you go to class, you eat your food, you work out or play some sports, then you come back, do your homework, and go to bed. And you can get in this routine that is just very like kind of uncreative, where you're just
not
going through the
thinking about
motions.
the outside world anymore.
Yeah, and I
You're
just
in a bubble, I think. I
Yeah.
feel that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there is really, really good qualities, really good like things that come from that. But at the same time, I challenge everyone that's listening tonight to try something new this week and just dive in and try to actually go experience something that might spark a new interest in them. Because that's what I did, and now I'm living in my dream right now. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm waking up every morning energized because it's a new experience every day.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it probably feels partially like a dream.
Yeah.
Like you're living it, this is what you want to do, 100%, right? You're invested into it.
Yeah, and I want to say real quick is like when I say living the dream, I don't mean living the dream as in I'm making millions and millions of dollars, but I'm living the dream as in I'm living into something that I'm extremely passionate about and causes me a lot of anger, but it also causes me a lot of joy. So,
And I gotta say, I mean, with a venture like this, you gotta feel like, looking at you, Devin, I would say that you feel 100% with your abilities being utilized with the works that you're involved in.
yeah.
You don't feel limited in any way. You don't feel like you're in a bubble, but you feel like anything's possible with this Perspectives grind.
Yeah, I think you gotta keep your eyes on the prize. And most companies that are startups take about 5 years to actually get moving. We're lucky to get moving a little bit sooner, but you can't stop after the first no or the second no or the third no or the fourth no. Like if you stop after that, then it wasn't for you. But we've been told no. We've been told many things that caused us to want to be like, should we keep doing this or no? But we kept grinding, and some amazing things have happened. And if all else fails, if the company shuts down tomorrow or the next day, I've learned so much along the way that will benefit me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, you guys heard it. The positive products of getting into something that you were interested at a young age, maybe an inner dream, just something you want to get involved with. And I advise all of you to get out there and just say you want to be a writer, get your first draft on your computer, make a Microsoft Word document. You want to be a clothing designer, wrap your designs up and start getting some product produced.
Yeah.
Just some kind of advancement in your idea. The whole challenge, I think, is that all of us that want to be entrepreneurs or do something amazing is we have an idea, but we can never materialize it. And that's the biggest problem, I think, within our culture.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Devin's challenge you guys. Go out this week, do something new, and we'll see you soon. This was Chats with Max live in the KAPU radio studio.